Dollar in the dream. The dollar in the dream. The dollar in the dream. Dollar in the dream. A crumbled paper dollar resting deep inside my denim fold. I walk the broken pavement while the concrete shivers in the cold. A tailor velvet fabric resting heavy on the corner chair. I lead the gutter looking for the summit, never getting older. Freezing when the wind is cutting heavy through the denim thread. I walk across the avenue and leave the broken pavement there. The silver dining table waiting quietly to serve the king. I wipe away the memories, sleeping in the rusted bed. The poverty is biting at my ankles walking down the street. I focus on the snare drum and the kick aligning with the beat. The mahogany panels gleaming in my overlooking space. I crush the old reality and leave it burning in the heat. I listen to the rumble of the subterranean steel train. The muddy water flowing down the center of the broken drain. A pristine leather sofa sitting heavy in the master suite. I wipe away the memory of living in the bitter rain. The heavy rain is washing out the charcoal on the murder scene. The dirty gutter choking on the paper and the gasoline. The heavy velvet curtains pulling back to show the city view. I keep the dollar folded while the energy is staying clean. Dollar and a dream. The dollar and a dream. The dollar and a dream. The broken bottle shatters on the corner by the alley wall. I watch the freezing shadow of the evening slowly start to fall. A heavy crystal chandelier is glowing in the dining room. I step above the rubble, never waiting for the morning call. I hear the metal scraping off a dumpster covered up in rust. The broken window shatter, leaving nothing but the dirty dust. A silent marble column standing quiet in the entrance hall. I elevate my vision, stepping over the decaying crust. I watch the yellow taxi burning rubber on a heavy tire. The alleyway is glowing from the barrel of an open fire. A tailor woven carpet covering the wide expansive floor. I leave the broken pavement climbing higher than the rusted wire. The muddy sneakers stepping on the gravel by the iron gate. I calculate the timing and I never let the moment wait. The golden mirror shining on the ceiling of the quiet lounge. I crush the old reality and elevate the heavy weight. The masterpiece is waiting in the fractal geometric phase. I break the system, burn. I break the system, burn the old reality and light the spark. The basement analog is pumping rigid frequencies, the bass. The dollar and a dream. The dollar and a dream. If you feel the frequency and keep the golden era alive, join the 90s street anthem, where the loyal spirits will survive. Tap the like and hit subscribe to build the fortress deep in the rain. Dollar and a dream. Dream. Yeah. I step across the threshold of the vault where ancient secrets have been kept, collecting every fragment of the wisdom that the previous owners swept. maintaining every record while the other lesser actors slowly crept. The official ceremony starts beneath the light of the moon. Yeah, I wear the velvet fabric while I walk across the polished marble floor, constructing every kingdom while the enemies are knocking at the door, reclaiming every nickel and I'm asking for a little bit more. I am the ruler of the summit, and I never need a bow. Constructing every sentence for the benefit of the family tree, unlocking every iron lock and setting every trapped idea free. The ink is drying slowly on the parchment of a very crisp decree. We drafting out the blueprints for the gold inside the private room. Writing out the future with the diamond instead of a piece of chalk. I'm walking through the alley and I never even need to talk, reclaiming every territory while the enemies begin to stalk, shattering the barriers and removing every terminal obstacle. I'm blowing on my palms and looking through the solid tungsten bars. The motorcade is rolling through the city in the very expensive cars. My vision is reflecting all the light of the distant in the holy stars. The resonance is shaking up the bottom of the project wall. The Hammond organ swells inside the center of the very grand hall, measuring the distance of the climb before I witness any kind of fall. Answering the echoes of the prophets in the very final call. We writing every name upon the surface of the massive granite block. I calibrate the numbers with a 0.01 accuracy rate. I'm building up the kingdom while the people on the street begin to wait, locking down the boardroom while the adversaries start to hesitate. I am the leader of the pack and I am never ever gonna bow. I build the wall of tungsten just to keep the winter from the inner core, constructing every fortress and I'm polishing the very marble floor, reclaiming every piece of territory and we asking for some more. I'm sitting on the summit and I'm looking at a very broken world. I'm harvesting the energy while all the lesser actors are asleep. The mountain of the treasury is looking very difficult and steep. The climb to reach the pinnacle is one that is incredibly deep. We pouring federal liquid in the bottom of a crystal glass, permanent immunity from any kind of future in the lead and pain, moving like a specter through the center of the liquid acid grain. I'm washing off the memory of walking in the cold and mental strain, extracting every nickel as I'm cutting through the center of the vein. I am the ruler of the sector when I'm sitting on the granite throne. The vendor road is humming while I'm calculating all the credit lines. The golden light of flickers on the tip of the expensive and the fine. The parameters of power when the stars and the planets suddenly align. I'm pulling back the curtain where the cowards always try to hide. I'm turning off the oxygen and checking on the movement of the tide. I'm sealing up the entrance and I'm making sure the logic has applied. I'm burning down the bridges from the ocean to the rocky coast. The ray trace logic bouncing off the surface of the quiet marble floor. I permanently lock the lead in the highly guarded iron door. The obsidian is polished and it's glowing like a dark and distant star. Finality is certain and the logic is staying very sound. Bespoke wool is acting like a shield against the freezing and the winter chill. I'm climbing up the ladder and I'm moving to the very top of the hill. The calculation of the distance is a very special and the holy skill. I'm claiming back the territory strictly for the loyal kin. The analog textures are providing a very warm and rich glow, filtering the data just to make sure the entire world will know. Constructing absolute dominance with the rhythmic and the steady flow. The banner of the discovery is starting to be finally unfurled. The mover is established on the document of the immortal plan. I'm moving with the energy of a very highly elevated man, following the protocols that the original pioneers began. The systematic dominance is putting on the quiet and the grand show. The signal is a javelin that is very accurately and sharply hurled. I'm sitting at the terminal and looking at a broken and a new world, watching how the energy is jumping from a single metal spark, sailing through the history inside a very massive tungsten arc. I analyze the movement of the planet and I never even blink. We're building up the fortress and we severing the very final link. The marathon is finished and the victory is strictly mine. The stars and the planets and the destiny have started to align. Yeah. Yeah. The asphalt is weeping under flickering sodium yellow lights, mapping out the drainage while the city gasps for basic rights. A predatory silence in the dampness of the urban nights. My silhouette is merging with the static of the digital grid. A cold-blooded perspective on the fracture of the urban core. I'm gathering the variables behind the secondary door. The binary is screaming at the opening of the iron gate. I'm drafting up the protocol inside the belly of the state. I recognize the fragrance of a simulated kind of glow. The copper wires are pulsing with the dirty kind of secret flow. I see the binary decay within the project's heavy glow. The underworld is humming like a massive centrifugal wheel. The resonance is shaking up the bottom of the project wall. I'm measuring the distance from the summit to the jagged fall. A technical precision in the middle of a jagged brawl. Yeah, I'm looking at the universe through a very lethal kind of screen. I'm hacking through the safety layers of the ancient masonry. A physical intrusion on the logic of the circuitry, terminating every parasite with high velocity. The system is a blueprint for a legendary kind of decree. A city condensation dripping from the rusty service pipe. I'm gathering the variables before the entire scene is right. The frequency of darkness is a heavy and a jagged type. I'm wiping off the fingerprints to maintain a superior design. I'm measuring the pressure in the vents of the G-minor slate. I'm drafting up the geometry before it gets a second laid. A technical requirement to finalize the entire fate. The foundation is trembling from the impact of the heavy steel. The moisture on the conduit is dripping like a rhythmic clock. I'm turning off the safety on the heavy and the jagged lock. A calculator sequence that is coming for the entire block. The architecture of the plan is looking sharp and very tall. We engineering power with the code and the superior design, tearing down the structure till the numbers and the stars align. Shattering the sequence with the brutal and the heavy line. Street anthem is rising from the fire and the heavy smoke. Witness the extraction in the state of high velocity strain, moving like a phantom through the center of the liquid brain, breaking every limit while we amplify the mental game. The code is in the spirit and the iron is inside the bone. The algorithm knows exactly how the entire game is played. I'm polishing the edges of the legendary plan we made. I'm standing in the epicenter, never looking for the shade. The grind is a religion and the profit is the only god. Insomnia is fueling the engine of a solid mass of change. I'm rearranging variables within a very lethal range. Strategic curses flowing through the logic of my circuitry. I'm building up the treasury with high definition clarity. The monitor is glowing with the clinical and the neon blue. I'm filtering the data till the narrative is strictly true. I analyze the market share with a very visionary view. I'm cutting through the noise to build a solitary kind of new. The signal is a javelin that's very accurately heard. I'm taking over everything while the entire scene is swirled. The banner of the legacy is starting to be finally unfurled. I'm sitting at the terminal and looking at a broken world. Who's looking to shadow creeping on the surface of the screen. I'm engineering status while the atmosphere is jagged and lean. The frequency of progress is sounding terrifyingly mean. I'm locking down the sector with a very surgical routine. The variables are shifting in the middle of a silent race. I'm engineering dominance to take over the entire space, wiping off the traces of the mediocre kind of base. I'm moving like a predator inside a very quiet chase. Some fanatical ambition in the middle of the midnight oil. I'm watching how the narratives begin to twist and start to core. The blueprint is a map for every parasite inside the soil. I'm claiming back the territory strictly for the loyal kin. The algorithm knows the ones who possess the propaganda drive. I'm keeping every real one in the circle to stay strictly alive. Join the street anthem family to survive the drive tonight. The 90s spirit is the only thing that's shining like a light. Yeah. Yeah. I came from where the broken dreams are scattered on the city floor. I'm kicking down the entrance and I'm breaking through the heavy door. The sirens are the symphony that's playing for the broken soul. I'm fighting for the dignity and taking back the full control. The asphalt is a teacher and the lessons always cost a lot. I'm keeping every secret in the center of the vacant lot. My stomach was an engine burning hunger in the dead of night. I kept my vision focused on a flicker of a distant light. We shared a piece of dusty bread while sitting on a project stair. A cold and heavy atmosphere was hanging in the winter air. I learned to keep my mouth shut while the cowards started talking loud. I'm rising like a phantom from the center of the project cloud. The struggle was a shadow that was following my every step. I'm paying back the debt and then I'm keeping all the secrets kept. The hunger is a poison and it's flowing through the hungry vein. I'm searching for the power in the middle of the acid rain. We navigated corridors where every single light is dead. I carried all the pressure and the metal in my weary head. The sirens are a warning for the ones who never play it smart. I'm engineering status with a solitary lion heart. The cement is a witness to the stories never being told. I'm trading all the nickel for the shine of the pure solid gold. I never let the misery define the path I had to choose. I'm winning every battle and I'm never gonna ever lose. The ghetto is a furnace and it's forging out of solid steel. I'm showing all the people how a sovereign king is supposed to feel. I climbed the ladder slowly from the bottom of the iron pit. I had a vision for the crown and never ever thought to quit. The shadows are receding and the morning light is looking gray. I'm building up the kingdom for a legendary brand new day. The concrete was a prison but the mind was a flying bird. I'm writing down a legacy in every single sharp word. Midnight motorcade is rolling through the valley of the pride. We keep the holy secrets and the brothers on the inner side. Cathedral bells are ringing for the kings of the urban throne. The authority is established and the territory is our own. We roll in mahogany, the velvet in the dark limousine. The sovereign authority is ruling over every scene. I swapped the baggy denim for the texture of the finest silk. The predator is rising and he's hunting for the honey milk. The first major transaction was a blessing from the heavy sky. I'm watching how the spirit and the heavy fortunes multiply. The golden chains are heavy and they're resting on the velvet chest. I put the local gossip in the rumors to a final rest. I'm stepping in the lobby with a steady and the boss's pace. The mark of the authority is written on the master's face. We traded all the nickels for the stack of the large paper bills. I'm engineering status with a set of the superior skills. The status is a mountain and the peak is looking very near. I'm silencing the voices and the souls of every single fear. The change is cinematic like a vision on a silver screen. I'm taking over everything and taking over every scene. I polished up the image till the reflection is staying clear. The sound of the ambition is the only thing that I can hear. We're moving through the city with a very dignified stride. I'm keeping all the brothers and I'm keeping all the kin inside. The world is looking different from the seat of a custom ride. I'm flowing with the energy and flowing with the heavy tide. I changed the skin but kept the heart of a soldier in the war. I'm opening the portal and I'm kicking down the final door. The transition was heavy and the mission was a grand design. I'm watching how the variables and the stars start to align. From the back of the alley to the front of the magazine page, I'm stepping on the pedestal and I'm stepping on the global stage. My pockets looking heavy and the spirit looking very light. I'm claiming all the victory in the middle of the midnight light. I drape the heavy velvet on the windows of the master suite. I'm wiping out the memory of walking in the bitter sleep. Midnight motorcade is rolling through the valley of the pride. We keep the holy secrets and the brothers on the inner side. The brothers on the inner side. Cathedral bells are ringing for the kings of the urban throne. The authority is established and the territory is our own. We roll in mahogany, the velvet in the dark limousine. The sovereign authority is ruling over every scene. To be continued, the decree aside. system right. I'm engineering lightning in the kingdom of a digital god. A technical precision that is making every hater nod. I'm breaking through the barrier with a physical and raw force. The structural integrity is failing with a heavy crack. I'm moving like a tidal wave and never ever looking back. A technical explosion in the middle of the heavy pack. I'm hunting every shadow with the mental kind of heavy flack. The pistol strikes are rhythmic like a hammer on a cold anvil. I'm engineering dominance with a very heavy iron will. I'm crushing every obstacle to move for the final kill. The status of the master is a very heavy kind of build. The energy is surging through the muscles of a titanium fist. I'm engineering clarity within a world of silver mist. I'm crossing out the traitors on a very long and detailed list. I'm turning every failure to a jagged and a heavy cyst. The frequency of impact is a heavy and a visceral shock. I'm engineering movement for the entire heavy urban block. I'm turning off the safety on the heavy and the jagged lock. The piston is a weapon and the engine is a masterpiece. The amplifier screaming with a distorted and a jagged tone. I'm engineering power that is chilling every single bone. I'm sitting at the epicenter, ruling from a heavy throne. The breakthrough is a sonic blast, shattering the atmosphere. The energy is surging through the muscles of a giant beast. I'm engineering carnage like a massive and a lethal feast. Moving from the western side and moving to the entire east. The breakthrough is a fire that is burning everything to ash. High velocity impact on the surface of the heavy slate. I'm leveling the skyline with the physical and heavy slate. I'm engineering victory while the cowards start to hesitate. The breakthrough is a hammer and the status is the only goal. I'm tearing down the ceiling and I'm tearing down the heavy floor. I'm engineering something that they never ever saw before. I'm kicking down the entrance and I'm kicking down the heavy door. The breakout is a physical and a heavy kind of destiny. I'm shattering the illusions with a very heavy sonic blast. I'm engineering future while I'm burying the hollow past. To die for the new reality is finally and strictly cash. We engineering power with a code and a superior design. Tearing down the structure till the numbers and the stars align. I don't need a crown because the territory's strictly mine. Shattering the sequence with a brutal and a heavy line. Witness the extraction in the state of high velocity strain. Moving like a phantom through the center of the liquid brain. Every calculated syllable is amplifying gain. The code is in the spirit and the iron is inside the bone. I'm sailing through the history inside a very heavy arc. A technical requirement to leave a visionary mark. Leaving every failure in the middle of a silent park. I'm sitting at the pinnacle and watching how the stars align. The architecture of the throne is very cold and iron-hearted. Engineering status for the legendary and departed. A technical requirement for every journey that I started. The legacy is written and the old reality is dead. I'm measuring the weight of every single diamond on the ground. Engineering statues for the entire heavy urban town. Looking at the wreckage while the sun is starting to go down. The legacy is solid and the territory is my own. I'm closing out the ledger with a very heavy leaden pen. Engineering glory for the legendary kind of man. Looking at the universe and looking at it once again. The legacy is permanent. And the status is the final word. The confirmation is a signal pulsing in the entire dark. I'm engineering statues out of every single metal spark. A mathematical precision that is leaving the permanent mark. The 90s street anthem is the only thing that's truly divine. Sovereignty is final at the breaking of the brand new day. The master of the system has a very heavy debt to pay. I'm sitting on the summit and I'm never looking down again. The scent is over now. Witness the weight of the crowd. On the inner side. The boardroom is a temple where the mahogany table shines. I'm drafting up the strategy and drafting up the borderlines. The black cards are the weapons of a silent and a cold desire. I'm walking through the ice and then I'm walking through the liquid fire. The sovereign decree is signed and sealed in the midnight ink. I'm standing at the edge and I'm never gonna ever blink. The federal spirit's pouring in the glass of the crystal lead. I'm focused on a legacy and words that have been truly said. The protocol is rigid and the atmosphere is staying chill. I'm engineering dominance with a very heavy iron will. I'm judging, I'm the jury in the center of this silent room. I'm stepping out the shadow and I'm stepping out the heavy gloom. We're dining with the masters while the city is a distant hum. I'm waiting for the final and the legendary prize to come. The black cards are clinking on the surface of the marble stone. I'm ruling over everything and I'm ruling it all alone. The silk tie is a noose for the enemies who wanna play. I'm moving all the pieces in a very particular way. The federal drink is burning but the throat is staying very cold. I'm telling all the stories that have never been previously told. The authority is heavy and it's chilling every single bone. I'm claiming back the territory strictly for the royal zone. The boardroom is a fortress and the silence is a lethal tool. I'm teaching all the lessons to the amateur and to the fool. The sovereign decree is final and the signature is bold. I'm sitting at the pinnacle and watching how the world is cold. I filtered all the data till the narrative is strictly true. I'm cutting through the noise to build a solitary kind of new. The black cards are pulsing with a lethal kind of energy. I'm building up the fortress and I'm building up the treasury. The mahogany is warm but the heart is staying like the ice. I'm never gonna pay the same in a very heavy price twice. I'm calculating power in the middle of the midnight oil. I'm claiming back the territory strictly for the loyal soil. The final signature is made upon the legendary page. I'm locking down a sector in the middle of the global age. The boardroom is a temple and the protocol is the holy law. I'm finding every weakness and I'm finding every single flaw. The federal spirit's glowing in the center of the crystal glass. I'm moving with a purpose and I'm moving with a royal class. Midnight motorcade, the valley of the pride. Holy secrets, brothers on the inner side. Cathedral bells, kings of the urban throne. Authority established, territory is our own. We roll in mahogany, the velvet in the dark limousine. The sovereign authority is ruling over every scene. To be continued. The convoy is moving, 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 moving. Midnight motorcade, the valley of the pride, cathedral bells. Midnight motorcade, the valley of the pride, the valley of the convoy is a serpent and it's moving with a lethal grace. I'm making sure the enemy is never gonna find the place. We're navigating alleys where the midnight compass never lies. I'm looking at the future through the center of the brother's eyes. The motorcade is silent like the shadow of a flying bird. The message of the power is a message that is finally heard. Midnight motorcade, the valley of the pride, the valley of the pride. Cathedral bells, the kings of the urban throne. We roll in mahogany, the velvet in the dark limousine. The sovereign authority is ruling over every scene. The marble is the only thing that's staying when the fire is gone. I'm waiting for the breaking of a legendary and new dawn. The obsidian is polished and it's glowing like a dark star. I'm traveling the distance and I'm traveling very far. The finality is heavy and the logic is staying very sound. I'm burying the secrets in the middle of the holy ground. Midnight motorcade, the valley of the pride, cathedral bells, kings of the urban throne. A bitter wind, the bitter wind is freezing on us, breezing on it. A bitter wind, a bitter wind is freezing on us, freezing on us, freezing on us. A bitter wind is freezing on a solid iron rolling gate. I walk the empty shadows with a steady midnight compass guide. The poverty is leaking from the bottom of a rusted crate. I keep the inner dignity and keep the heavy pain inside. A flickering bodega neon buzzes in the freezing air. The rusty fire escape is hanging heavy on the brick facade. A solitary figure exhales vapor with an icy stare. The neighborhood is operating strictly by a silent guide. The pavement is reflecting all the misery and broken glass. I calculate the decimals to elevate my current state. We stepping on the gravel of the devastated lower class. A visionary builder is preparing for a heavy weight. Freezing air, the solid iron rolling gate. A silent guard, elevate my current state. Immunity from any pain. Immunity from any pain. Taylor takes the measurement to cut the heavy woven silk. We pouring federal spirits in a heavy bottom crystal glass to elevate the hierarchy and filter out the water milk. The mathematics separating leaders from the working class. Golden light flickers on the tip of an expensive smoke. I calculate the numbers with a mathematical design. The enemies are choking on the very words they ever spoke. The parameters of power in the planet suddenly align. The armors of bespoke wool that functions like a heavy shield. We finalize the papers while the city is asleep below. A calculated victory upon the economic field. The panoramic window showing off a brilliant neon glow. Solid dark mahogany is gleaming in the upper room. The black cards are delivered with a very quiet luxury. We operating silently inside the high-end corporate tomb. I manifest the absolute and permanent authority. The leather chair is acting like a throne inside the highest tower. We speaking in an encrypted and a highly classified code. I recognize the structure of this undeniable power. I'm walking down an opulent and isolated private road. A heavy piece of obsidian rests on a meeting table. We looking at the microscopic people on the street below. I filter out the fiction and I terminate the local fable. A systematic dominance is putting on a quiet show. The ray trace logic bouncing off the surface of the quiet floor. I permanently lock the heavy in the highly guarded door. We sever every compromise and sever every losing tie. The legacy is elevating straight into the highest sky. Classified code, the zero decimal. Systematic dominance, terminate the local fable. Permanent authority, permanent authority. Dominate. The elevator drop into the subterranean garage. I formulate the ending of the competition in my mind. The military vehicles are forming up a dark mirage. We leaving all the mediocre adversaries far behind. A fleet of heavy armored trucks is waiting by the private gate. The engines hum a frequency that rattles all the urban stones. We moving as a unit and we never ever arriving late. A loyal band of brothers who were sitting on that leather throne. The rubber burns the asphalt as we pull into the old domain. We roll into the bodega where everything originally began. A permanent immunity from any kind of future pain. I execute the angles up the highly elevated plan. We park the luxury machines exactly where the struggle started. I leave $100 bill exactly on the corner spot. Silent recognition for the brothers who have long departed. I finalize the protocol and execute the master plot. Marble is a testament. Everything that we have built, the sovereign decree is written in a heavy golden ink. We washing out the memory of any hesitation, guilt. I calculate the ultimate precision and I never blink. The 9th Street Anthem is the only frequency you need. Subscribe and join the family to plant the heavy seed. The law of the assumption is the only way to reach the height. I seal the marathon and walk away into the midnight light.